Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits, because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. Let's not forget that. We got some things we got to get into very, very quickly. There's something going on out in Idaho as we speak, in Coeur-dalene, Idaho, that we need to talk about right now as we speak. This is all breaking news. Craziness is going on right now. It is an active situation as we speak, and we have got to get into this conversation and what's going on. There's a press briefing that just came out. It's not very great. I'm going to be honest. It's not very informative. It kind of sucks. It gives us a little bit more insight of what's really going on over there, but that's about it. So we got to get into that really quick. We're going to get into exactly what the heck's going on. There's some dispatch audio that we're going to be listening to, but there's a lot that's going on, okay? Man, this is crazy, okay? So do me a favor. Before we get into everything, hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on those other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Rumble, and Kick. Yeah, I'm on all of them. Hit that follow button on the follow, the like button, whichever thing that they ask you to do on those platforms. Even subscribe if you can. Don't forget to subscribe here on my main channel, here on my YouTube channel. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show, clips right here on YouTube as well. Make sure you're subscribed over there, please, and thank you. Hit that notification bell so you know whenever I go live. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. PascalMerch.com. Okay, guys. It's a quick beginning because there's a lot going on. And, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get here to you guys right when everything was breaking. But we are here nonetheless to give you guys the information that you need. And some really bad things are going on right now as we speak. So we're going to jump right into this and get straight into the meat and potatoes. Multiple firefighters have been hit. They have been ambushed by an active sniper right now as we speak. This person is still taking aim at people. We understand now that there has been 2 firefighters that have lost their lives. But there have been multiple people hit and cops that were hit while they were out there fighting fires, which is very, very weird. Very weird and very odd and unfortunate. And there's been a lot of speculation and questions and about a particular person that happens to be on the loose right now. You know, he's in that northwestern area as well. So there's been a lot of speculation about maybe this is a connection to another case. And we are now finding out that there's no connection so far, that they understand that there is no connection to this other case, which we will tap into for a very brief moment, because of course there has been a lot of speculation flooding around this particular situation. But this is crazy. Okay. This is absolutely crazy. So let's get into this, okay? And I'm still trying to understand exactly what's going on too. All right, but this is all breaking news. We're going to get as much information as we can as we start to proceed into the conversation. So sit tight, get comfortable. We're here to get everything we can, okay? Because this is all breaking news. So we're going to learn as we go. That's what happens when you get breaking news. Okay, guys? So let's get into this, all right? Firefighters ambushed by gunmen while responding to brush fire in Idaho. Who does this? Okay, so firefighters were ambushed by an assailant while responding to a brush fire in Coeur-dalene, Idaho. Okay, and this is what the county sheriff's office, Lieutenant Jeff Howard, told ABC. So the incident unfolded after a small but growing brush fire broke out on Canfield Mountain Sunday afternoon. When fire personnel responded to that actual blaze, they started getting hit by an unknown person in the woods. So some random dude is out there in the woods right now as we speak. Cletus is out there with his pew-pew, taking aim at innocent people, okay, at firefighters. Law enforcement is investigating whether the fire could have been intentionally set in order to lure first responders to the scene. Howard added, okay? So the scene is considered an active pew-pew, an active assailant situation, and a shelter-in-place order has been issued for Canfield Mountain Trailhead and the surrounding areas. Now, here's the thing. 2 people have lost their lives. Firefighters. 2 firefighters allegedly have lost their lives. Multiple Idaho firefighters have been hit. Okay, so there has been injuries. All right, but we don't know the severity of these injuries as of yet. But unfortunately, 2 firefighters have lost their lives. We also understand that there have been a couple of cops that have been hit as well. And I'm going to repeat this one more time. This assailant is still actively taking aim at people, at these firefighters. Don't worry, we're going straight over to the press conference right now so you guys can get that information right now as we speak. So let's get into this. Don't forget to hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Don't worry, we're going to be looking up all the information, as much information as we can. I'm sorry to come to you guys so hot and fresh out the kitchen, blazing like this. But unfortunately, as I was getting things set up for this live, they had the press conference. It was very short. It was very brief. It was very vague. Well, I mean, not a whole lot of information was out there. Okay. They can't even tell us who the person is. They have no idea who this person is. All they know is that there have been multiple firefighters that have been hit. 2 have lost their lives. And there's an active assailant in the woods somewhere taking aim at these firefighters. So this is an active situation right now as we speak. So let's get into this. False alarm.
I am the sheriff of Kootenai County. This information is very preliminary and is subject to change. We want to give you and the public as much information as quickly as possible.
Real quick, just so you know, I'm hearing everything from my right ear. So if you don't have headphones in and you start saying, I can't hear anything, it's because how they recorded it is all coming out of the right speaker, just so you guys know. So put in some headphones, turn them mugs all the way up, and let's rock and roll.
So at approximately 1:21 p.m. this afternoon, we received reports of a fire on the east side of Canfield Mountain. Fire assets responded to the scene, and at approximately 2 p.m. this afternoon, it was reported that firefighters were receiving shots fired at them. We now have 2 deaths. We have an unknown amount of casualties. We still have civilians that are coming off of that mountain. We might have civilians that are stuck or in shock on that mountain. So this is a very, very fresh situation. We are actively taking sniper fire as we speak. This is an active situation. We have multiple agencies that are on scene, from local and federal authorities. And we are prepared to neutralize this suspect who is currently actively shooting at public safety personnel. We are prepared to neutralize this suspect as quickly as possible. And that's really all that we know as of right now. We don't know who the suspects are. We don't know how many there are.
That's it. Real talk. So they don't even know if this is more than just one assailant. Okay. They don't even know if this is more than one person. They don't know if this is just one person, but this person is still actively taking aim at people. Then the other thing is that he said just a little bit ago, he said multiple casualties. But casualties, the way I hear it, is casualties. Okay. People lost their lives, casualties, not injuries, But casualties, don't worry, I'm going to play this again because it's that short. As you can see, the information is it's minimal at best, right? So again, don't worry, I'm going to play a little bit more, but they do a little Q&A here as well, but I'm going to play the beginning here in just a little bit after we get through it here.
I know that it's very, very, very early, and I don't think that any questions would yield anything. But Chief, do you have anything? Was I accurate in what we were reporting?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll take a couple of questions, but I'd like to remind you that's very, very preliminary, and I'm not so sure we're going to have any additional information.
Original KXOY, the 2 deaths, are they fighter personnel that have died?
We know that there's 2 deaths, and we believe that they are, yes.
Have they been taken off of the mountain?
Yeah, no, we're still in that process.
Dan Brown, Krantzu, you mentioned that there were multiple people that have been shot. Do you have an exact number at
No.
the moment?
Nope,
Okay.
we do not.
Alex, I'm one of the spokesmen. How are you going about evacuating people from the mountain or getting personnel out of there who are being shot at? I mean, what does that process look like?
Right now, we're developing a plan to be able to suppress these individuals' firefighting capability. And when we get that under control, when we have an opportunity to suppress that, then we will continue our removing of people who are on the mountain, who are on for a hike, or public safety personnel, or people who live on the backside of the mountain.
Do we have any indication of what type of firearms are being used in this from the suspect?
Well, it appears that modern day sporting rifles are being used. It appears that high powered rifles are being used. Yes.
How many acres is this fire?
I don't know.
Started out as a half acre.
Do we know about how many minutes after shots were fired when fire crews arrived?
Well, we got the first call at 1:21, and we have reports that they were taking shots at about 2 o'clock. I don't know what time they arrived on scene. I don't know what time the firefighters arrived on scene, but we can get you that information at the next briefing if you'd like.
How many engines were on scene when shots were fired? Do you know that? 3? I believe we had 3. Thank you.
And just to be clear, the people who responded, they were wildland firefighters or they were local firefighters fighting a wildland firefighter?
City of Coeur-dalene and Kootenai Fire Rescue.
Yes,
When
sir.
the shots were fired, were they at an accelerated rate or was it a single shot?
Oh no, we're taking rapid fire up there
Jeez, that's insane, y'all.
in the back.
You keep referring to individuals. Are you referring to the casualties or like the suspects?
Well, we don't know how many suspects are up there, and we don't know how many casualties that there are. Yeah, I suspect we'll have people coming forward that maybe are stuck up there that drove themselves to the hospital, but I suspect that would likely be the case.
Yo,
We have confirmation that there are people stuck up there.
civilians.
People are still coming off the mountain, so it would only be safe to assume that the mountain is not clear.
As of right now, is there an active threat to the
Absolutely,
surrounding community?
absolutely there is.
Has
Yeah.
there been a shelter-in-place order put forth?
Yes, there has. And I would encourage all of you to tell people to stay away from the area. Do not come to the area. Stay away from the area. This is going to be, if these individuals are not neutralized quickly, this is going to be likely a multi-day operation.
Wow. Yo, that's insane.
Suspect in a home up there? Are they? Do we have an indication of where they might be on the mountain?
Yeah, we don't believe that they're in a home up there at this time.
So they're just kind of out in the open firing.
Well, they're heavy brush, well prepared. So yeah, they're blending in with their surroundings.
Sheriff Morris?
Did you mention that the person that called it in is most likely the shooter?
No, we didn't say that. We said the first call was at 121 on a fire, and then we started receiving over our radio that the firefighters were receiving shots fired from the mountain.
Sure, Conan, has anything happened like this before? And if so, do you think you and other law enforcement entities will be more aware going forward?
You know, this is an interesting dynamic. You know, we have seen some of these things in a urban environment where firefighters were in a urban setting, putting out firefighters during civil disobedience, getting shot at. I've seen that. I can't say that I've seen it in a rural setting myself, but I have seen it in an urban setting frequently where firefighters do get shot at in, you know, civil unrest. Yes.
So do we know if it's one or two shooters?
We don't know if there's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Yeah, we don't know.
So just for the fire itself, firefighting efforts, is it contained? Is it still spreading? What does that look like?
Well, it's gonna keep burning because we can't put a lot of resources on there right now. But Chief,
Yeah.
Any resources
Yeah.
out there until the threat is neutralized?
Do we have like a risk of wildfire? Say, is it high winds? Is that going to fuel the fire or anything? Or is it
We're at a high state right now in wildland, so it'll calm down as the evening progresses, but then it'll pick back up tomorrow.
thank you.
Hopefully this is neutralized by then.
Sheriff Norris, how are you feeling about this overall from when you first got the call to just now from what you heard?
you know what? It's going to be the tough next couple hours. Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping that somebody has a clear shot and is able to neutralize, because they are not at this point in time showing any evidence of wanting to surrender. So as soon as somebody has a clear shot,
Take
I
him out.
encourage them to
Wow.
take that shot and neutralize the threat.
Wow. He's straight up saying, take this mother lover out.
Helicopters coming in and out. Are there any other air resources that are being used at the moment?
Oh yeah, we have our Emergency Operations Bureau that is containing assets, and whenever a situation goes beyond the local resources, which this has, like I said, we have other counties that are here, we have federal authorities that are here, and we will neutralize this threat. So.
And sorry, I know we touched on this with the suspects. You know, we know there is at least one, but you said possibly others. Is it coming from multiple different locations that bullets are coming from that might indicate that
Yes.
it is
Oh, yeah.
one
Yep.
suspect?
Yep.
So it's coming from not just one.
Yeah, it's what the officers and deputies are reporting up on the mountain right now. So
Have any officers been hit?
as of right now, we don't have any officers that have been hit. Okay.
Can you just confirm, list all the law enforcement authorities that are here on scene?
Well, I have not gotten a list yet, but however, if, I mean, pretty much everybody that's in this region, we have some Spokane resources that are here. We have Marshal's office that is on scene, Bonner County Sheriff's here, Coeur-d'Alene Police, of course, is here, Idaho State Police, but we have a multitude of resources right now. So, okay, what we'll do is Lieutenant Mark Ellis is going to be one of our press relations here, and we'll determine what time we'll do another press conference, or if the next one will just be a press release. So I'm thinking it'll probably be a press conference, and it'll probably be somewhere in the next 3 or 4 hours, unless something significant happens before then.
Here we go.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so guys, I'm gonna hit that do the rerun for the beginning part of what he said. But I feel like that's kind of where the most of the information is being said here. But again, they are saying they don't know if this is, because I see Nanny X3 is asking, is there multiple assailants out there or they're not? What we know right now is that they don't know. So all we know is that there's somebody out there who is actively rapid fire taking aim at people that are in that area. Okay, taking aim at anybody. They're saying that there's multiple casualties, or he says multiple casualties in the beginning here. So there's other people that have been hit. I don't know why he would say multiple casualties if he didn't really mean multiple casualties, but he does know for sure that two firefighters have lost their lives. He said multiple casualties. You're going to hear it in a second here again, because I'm going to play it again just for you guys. Okay. And then, of course, we're going to get into some more deep diving into all this as well, because there is some radio, etc. That we need to take a listen to as well. This is just insane. Okay. And he even said this is not normal. You hear it in urban settings, basically in the city, okay, downtown, okay, not in some rural type of situation like this. But this also makes me think of not as far as the firefighter situation, but it does make me think of the guy who was out there taking aim at people driving on the interstate in Kentucky. Remember that guy? And then they found him in the woods, gone, like a week or two later. In fact, it was a group of YouTubers that actually found him gone in the woods. I forgot his name, but you remember that. You remember that. Okay. If you've been following this show or, seeing what I've covered in the past, guy like literally, yep, Couch. There it is. Couch. Okay. Joseph Couch. He was sitting there just laid out and he just started taking aim at cars, right, on the interstate. And then, of course, he was found gone in the deep in the woods, right? And there was all kinds of theories and et cetera about where this guy could be and all that. Now, in this particular situation, I know this has to do with firefighters, but this one's much massive, much bigger than at least the way they're painting it out to be, much bigger. Do I think this is Iran sleeper cell type stuff? No, I really don't, because I know some people are going to be asking that. But I don't think that's that. Okay. So just so you know, I don't think it's that. Okay. I really do think that this could just be an unhinged individual, another Couch type of situation where they've just lost their minds. That's just truly what I think. We'll find out more information as we go on. There has been another question. The conversation, Real Talk Classic, that's why I'm bringing it up, because people are talking about it, being like, could this be, Iran sleeper cell thing? I truly don't think it is. Okay. But then there's other people that are wondering if this could very well be Travis Decker. Now, Decker has been on the loose and he's been out there in these wilderness streets for weeks now. No one knows where that man is. And if you don't know who he is someone who is a suspect in the unaliving of his 3 daughters. Okay. Just about, it feels like several weeks ago, his kids were found in his, I don't remember the details correctly. Okay. But his kids were found. Okay. And all 3 of his daughters, all gone. And he left his car, etc., just left them gone. They all lost their lives due to asphyxiation. Just so you know, they apparently say that he has skills. Okay. He's he's a vet, ex-military. He has the skills to be able to live out there in the woods and live off the fat of the land, for lack of a better term. And again, he is gone. They don't know where he is either. Okay. So they're wondering, some people are instantly wondering if Travis Decker is indeed the man or one of the people that's taking aim at these innocent lives in this, on this trail. We don't know. Okay. They said there's no connection to this so far. They say there's no connection to this so far, but we don't know. Like I said, they don't know. They don't know anything yet. They don't even know if there's more than one person up there because of how rapid fire this person's just going off and hitting people, right? And he's continuing, at least as of the recording of this press conference, which only ended a few minutes ago. They were saying that the guy was still actively taking aim at people, still to this day, still at this moment right now. So again, they don't know if it's multiple people or if this person, or if it's just one person. Okay. Don't know if it's Travis Decker. They don't know. All they know is that they have multiple people that have been severely injured, if not gone. They have 2 firefighters that have definitely lost their lives. And this person's still actively out here acting a fool. I'm gonna play it again for you guys, just the first part. Okay, we're not gonna go through the questions and all that again, but I just want you guys to hear from the police, the sheriff himself, about what's really going on. This is an active situation. Again, I repeat, this is an active situation right now as we speak. Let's rock and roll.
I am the sheriff of Kootenai County. This information is very preliminary and is subject to change. We want to give you and the public as much information as quickly as possible. So at approximately 1:21 p.m. this afternoon, we received reports of a fire on the east side of Canfield Mountain. Fire assets responded to the scene, and at approximately 2 p.m. this afternoon, it was reported that firefighters were receiving shots fired at them. We now have 2 deaths. We have an unknown amount of casualties. We still have civilians that are coming off of that mountain. We might have civilians that are stuck or in shock on that mountain. So this is a very, very fresh situation. We are actively taking sniper fire as we speak. This is an active situation. We have multiple agencies that are on scene, from local and federal authorities, and we are prepared to neutralize this suspect who is currently actively shooting at public safety personnel. We are prepared to neutralize this suspect as quickly as possible. And that's really all that we know as of right now. We don't know who the suspects are. We don't know how many there are. So I know that it's
Crazy.
very, very, very early, and I don't think that any questions would yield anything. But Chief, do you have anything? Was I accurate in what we were reporting?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll take a.
Okay, and then they go into questions, and we've already listened to the questions. If you don't know what the questions are, I say please go back, hit the rewind button, and just go back real quick and just take a listen for yourself. Okay, but nonetheless, this is some pretty crazy stuff. He even, like I said, he said casualties. He didn't say multiple injured. He said multiple casualties, and that's what he's talking about. He's not even talking about the firefighters. He's talking about civilians. So I don't know how active this particular area is, this trail. I don't know how active this area is. Hold on. I want to share this one more time, okay? For those of y'all who don't know, okay, firefighters were apparently ambushed. And apparently they're saying there's more than just one, or there was more than just police and first responders in general were there. There were multiple civilians that are out there as well. Like I said, I don't know the area personally. Okay. Like if it's a hot spot for people to be, walking the trails, kind of like a park type of thing. I honestly don't know. Okay. Because I don't live in Idaho. So if anybody who's watching the show that knows about this Idaho, this area, okay, that would be really, really helpful. I'd love to know, comment in the family chat. Let us know. Is this a spot that's really known for being, a very busy spot where someone like a monster like this person could do something like this and hurt many people like this with ease? That's something I'm kind of curious about as well. Okay. But in fact, I'm going to pull up this article here. So we're going to take a look at this instead real quick. So they're saying they confirmed 2 people after multiple people have been hit. All right. And that's including firefighters and civilians, but they cannot find out how many people have lost their lives right now because of the active situation that's going on as we speak, just so you know. Okay. So according to Raw Alerts, it's saying this is an update about an hour ago. It says, according to police, fire scanners in Idaho, the fire was reportedly set intentionally. So it reportedly said that it was set intentionally to lure in firefighters, several of whom were actually hit. So the exact number of victims has not been confirmed yet, like we heard in that in that press briefing. Then they said the firefighters at the scene stated, "It's clear to me that the fire was set intentionally to draw us in. A possible suspect vehicle has been located, and police helicopters are now searching overhead for the suspect right now as we speak." So that's some breaking information for you guys as well. But let me go over here to CNN to give you guys this information that's going on as well. So 2 people were fatally hit and others injured while responding to, of course, this brush fire that we heard about in Coeur-d'Alene, Idaho. And at least one active assailant, all right, continues to shoot. Okay. This person is still taking aim at law enforcement with high-powered rifles, plural, which is insane. High-powered rifles, guys. So this person ain't even, this person ain't even slowing down, y'all. This person ain't slowing down. Or they're saying that this person is shooting so much that it seems as if they're wondering if it's more than just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 assailants, y'all. That's crazy. So we don't know if there's 1, 2, 3, or 4. They have no clue. Okay? They're saying that these bullets are flying from multiple directions. Yeah, that would be a fair bet that there might be more than just one person out there in those doggone woods and them thar hills. Somebody or somebodies is out there running amok or running amucks. This is insane. They say we will neutralize this threat. So again, they're saying we're gonna ice this fool. Basically, long story short, right? So the Kootenai, I don't know how to pronounce that. Kootenai. Hopefully, I'm saying that correctly. Okay, the county emergency management has told people in the area to shelter in place and asked others to avoid the area. So video and photos show the law enforcement officers rushing to the scene. A police car can be seen speeding down the road, bypassing a barrier erected to restrict access to the area. Video shows as also other law enforcement officials block the street. So Idaho Governor Brad Little urged people to stay away from the area to allow law enforcement and firefighters to do their work. Multiple heroic firefighters were attacked today while responding to a fire in North Idaho. So this is a heinous direct assault on our brave firefighters. I ask all Idahoans, okay, to pray for them and their families as we wait to learn more. Okay. And then, of course, he's saying, Teresa and I are heartbroken. The incident is in the Canfield Mountain Neutral area, a 24-acre park on the east side of the city. So, right here, that little dot right there. Okay, everybody? All right. Let me go back up here. Let's see. There are several hiking and biking trails and heavy tree cover. Thank you. Sometimes you can get some information from CNN, right? I'm kidding. But anyway, there are several hiking and biking trails. And I'm assuming it was a beautiful day over there today, right? Just like everybody, just like where it's been really nice over the past couple days, right? Even in my neck of the woods, no tornadoes, finally, right? So again, with this happening right now, yeah, I could see somebody being an evil mother lover, seeing this as an opportunity to strike. And then you heard, literally, a firefighter said, "Hey, we believe that this person intentionally started this brush fire just so that we could show up, so that they can cause some havoc." That is crazy stuff indeed as well. Okay? But hold on, we got more stuff. Don't worry, we ain't done yet. We got a lot more coming to you guys, but there's a few things I want to share with y'all. So I'm just pulling those things up so that we have it, okay? So this says here, okay, multiple firefighters have been hit, okay, in an apparent ambush while responding to this brush fire in Coeur-d'Alene, Idaho. Local media reports suspect at large, and it could be suspects, plural, okay, suspects at large. I couldn't agree more, Craig. 6 sick people who, or person. People are person. Because, this is what angers me. This could be, just the family going out there, enjoying some time, riding, kids riding their bikes. I mean, you don't know the age range of these alleged casualties, the multiple people that have been hit. Then also you got to remember, let's not forget all of the firefighters that have been injured or that have been lost their lives. They still have people at home that love them. They should be going home, right? They should be able to take out that fire and go home and live to fight another fire another day. But that's not what's happening here. Now, is it? We got people who go and they take their weapons because they get into their fifis and they do stupid things like this. And it angers me more than anything in the world. Okay. Especially when you got a park, you got a trail, bike trails, etc. People, training for marathons and triathlons or just learning how to ride, go and ride their bike for the first time, whatever. These people are just minding their own doggone businesses, losing their lives as well. You know what I mean? This is the kind of stuff that frustrates and angers me I can't even explain. Welcome to the world that we live in, unfortunately. So again, you can see the brush fire right here. Yeah, somebody literally said this, or somebody literally started this to start something, clearly, right? So update, and this is from North Idaho News. Last update until press release, which we just saw a press conference. They say they're going to be doing another press conference in like 3 hours from now. I may come back on live for that later on. Okay. Maybe there will be developing information, meaning that they either neutralized or they caught that mother lover. Okay. But nonetheless, they are looking to annihilate. As Trump would say, completely obliterate. They're looking to obliterate. All right. They're looking to obliterate. Let's be real. They're not looking to have a conversation. This person or persons, they are very, very dangerous. So they're like, we're going to neutralize. If you get a clean shot, take the shot. That's literally what he's saying right now. That's what the sheriff is saying. If you got a clean shot, well, dagnabbit, take the shot. Insane. Yes, Allie, some people think that this could very well be Travis Decker. Don't worry, we're going to take a little bit of a quick trip down Travis Decker and his children's. We're going to take a quick trip down his lane for a second here, just so you guys are savvy to what's going on and why people are wondering if there's a connection here. I don't think that there is. And they say so far they don't think it is. Okay. But several firefighters hit, law enforcement officers reportedly hit as well. Appears to be an ambush. Suspected there are additional victims, okay, on the hill, which we just heard, okay. Assistance from Spokane en route. Life Flight Network sending all available helicopters. Stay out of the area, okay. So this is the real deal Holyfield, y'all. They are not messing around. This is not a drill, okay. This is most definitely not a drill. Okay, so breaking, and this was about 2 hours ago, but breaking ambush in North Idaho. Multiple firefighters and law enforcement reportedly hit in an ambush on Canfield. So crews evacuating, Life Flight deploying a helicopter, Spokane PD en route, victims still on hill, public told to avoid area. Again, we just heard that a little bit ago in his press conference. He said, we're trying to get to people. Like, we can't tell you who and what's going on right now because this person or persons is actively just taking aim at everything and anybody. And it's rapid fire. It's nonstop, y'all, which is scary as hell. Okay. Absolutely scary as hell. So this is all breaking news for those of y'all who are just getting in here. Okay. Multiple people have been, well, they don't know. They say casualties, but I don't know. They say multiple casualties. Two firefighters have lost their lives, have been hit by an active assailant or assailants. They don't know if it's just one sniper or if it's more than just one. As we just read, they don't know if it's 1, 2, 3, or 4 because these bullets are flying in multiple directions, which is not good. Okay. But then it's like in my mind, who comes out of their minds that like calls up a bunch of other buddies and says, "Hey, I got a great idea. Let's start a fire, and then we just going to ambush the firefighters, and then we're going to take out all these people on the trail, all these innocent lives." Right? Who in their right mind thinks of that kind of stuff? Why? What's the reason behind that? Right? It's knuckin' futs, y'all. So moving on. So now we understand that, all of this, okay? Crews are evacuating and law enforcement is en route, avoided the area. Last update until press release, okay? Several firefighters have been hit. And this is all while they're trying to take out the fire, y'all. Insane. Law enforcement officers reportedly hit as well. Appears to be an ambush. So we already heard about all this, okay? They're just saying, please stay out of the area. Don't mess around. Don't play. This is not the time to be trying to go up there and try to be a hero. Okay, let me see what Raw Alerts has to say here too. They have announced that at least, well, this was about 46 minutes ago, which we already talked about. Okay, so this is old news now, but 2 firefighters have been unalived, okay, by an active assailant. And this assailant allegedly is still actively firing. All right. And I'll just show you what I just read a second ago from Raw Alerts. But firefighters at the scene stated, "It's clear to me that this fire was set intentionally to draw us in. A possible suspect vehicle has been located and police helicopters are now searching overhead for the actual suspect." That was about an hour ago, just so you guys know that reporting. Okay. So some serious stuff is going on right now as we speak. It's crazy. Hold on, let me get this members chat. Savannah, thank you so much for being a member for over 2 years. Happy anniversary. Thank you. I wasn't expecting this tonight while I'm playing Pokemon. Okay. Thanks for everything you are doing, and prayers to your family. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Same to you. Prayers to you and your family as well. Yeah, I mean, of course, this isn't Diddy conversation. This is some serious stuff, real talk. But I'm here to give you guys the information. And of course, if anybody's watching that may know who this particular person could be or who these people could be, don't hesitate to contact local PD. All right. That's all I ask. It's a simple ask here. Now, I do want to pull this up so that you guys are a little bit savvy on this situation, because I know that some of us know about this and some of us don't. Okay. And this is the reason why a lot of people are wondering if there is a connection between a crime that recently happened, absolutely disgusting, tragic, deplorable thing that happened, and this situation that's happening right now. I don't know if there's a connection, but there's a lot of people that are speculating right now as we speak. This is the guy that I'm talking about. This is Travis Decker. All right. This man allegedly, okay, he's on the run right now, and it has been alleged he is the suspect, okay, in the unaliving of his 3 daughters. 3 little kids, 3 little daughters. He had them. He took their lives, and then he left everything behind and just ran. They think that he's out in the woods somewhere, literally. Now, some people are wondering if this has any connection with Travis Decker or not. Police are saying it's not. They don't see any connection right now. At least that's what the reportings are saying right now. I don't think that this has anything to do with Travis Decker. But nonetheless, I know a lot of y'all want to know who the heck this guy is and why are people asking this question. So let's just take a quick conversation about that, okay? So after a 1-month search, okay, they're still looking for this guy. He's been out there in the woods somewhere. No one knows where he is. Okay. I think something bad happened. Like, I think he did something bad, if you get what I'm saying. And that's why they haven't found him. Okay. He's not moving around. In other words, he's not moving, guys. That's my theory. All right. But it's been nearly a month. Okay. Hence the reason why people are wondering if there's a connection here. It's been nearly a month since Travis Decker went on the run after he allegedly unalived his 3 daughters near a Washington State campground. And at least one expert, well, now they're saying that, he's a fugitive on the loose. They believe that he probably, did something to himself, etc. But Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker, these are the 3 young girls that lost their lives allegedly at the hands of their father, Travis Decker, who happens to be on the run right now. So they lost their lives after they left home for a quote unquote planned visitation with Travis Decker at approximately 5 p.m. on May 30th of this year, officials said. So at approximately 3 p.m. on June 2nd, officials located the bodies of these 3 girls. Decker's vehicle, near the Rock Island campground in Chelan County, Washington. Okay. Nearly 1 month later, the manhunt for this ex-Army, Army veteran for Decker is still ongoing right now as we speak. So, of course, this is just an article I just found. But so I don't know when exactly this was made, but he's been on the run for a month now. Okay. So on Monday, officials said that there's quote unquote is no certain evidence that Decker remains alive or in the surrounding area after seemingly strong early leads gave way to less convincing proofs over the last 2 weeks of searching. So they don't believe he's anywhere near where the crime took place or anything of that sort. He could literally be in another state. He could literally be in Canada, for crying out loud. They don't know, guys. They don't know. Okay. So we can't and won't quit this search. All right. This is what the sheriff said. Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker deserve justice. Decker remains a danger to the public as long as he is at large. Now, people are wondering, could there be a connection between this and what's going on in Idaho right now as we speak? I'm telling you right now, I don't see the connection personally, but hey, wilder things have happened for sure. Okay. I do want to play a little bit of some audio here real quick. So let me pull this up for you guys. We're going back to the active assailant situation right now as we speak. Okay. This is saying, mass tragedy event currently in Idaho. Okay. Breaking an active situation is currently underway as multiple firefighters have been, we already know. At this time, police and emergency crews are responding to an active situation near Athol, Idaho, where multiple firefighters have reportedly been hit while battling a brush fire. So deputies are urging all residents to avoid the area immediately, according to emergency officials. Fire crews were forced to retreat under gunfire. Okay, and the wildfire remains dangerously active. So they still have not. Okay, they still have not taken out the fire. So the fire's still active. They're also dodging bullets at the same damn time, guys. That's insane. Okay. So let's continue on. Authorities are warning nearby residents to stay indoors, remain alert, and prepare for rapidly changing conditions as this deadly and chaotic situation continues to unfold. Let's take a listen.
Central BC 5, Central BC 5. BC 5 up 6. Some law enforcement right now, there's an active shooter zone. They're shot. BC 3's down, BC 1's down. Everybody's shot up here. Law enforcement, code 3 now up here.
That's scary.
551, Center 14 up here. Stop. Get out of the way. 10 or 14. Engine push 551. Do not come up here.
That's some scary stuff, y'all. I'm sorry. I got hit it. Yo, that's scary, y'all. And they're like, yo, a whole bunch of ish is going on right now. And then again, they're trying to fight the fire and they're dodging bullets at the same doggone time, guys. That's insane. Don't worry, we got more. I'm just trying to pull up everything I can, okay? So just give me a second. I know some of y'all like, go to the scanner. I may do that in a little bit, okay? I may do that in a little bit, but there is some other things like this, which I wanted to pull up. This is a fuller audio of this situation, which I think we should listen to as well. But hold on, let me just pull this up so you guys can see. So this is listen live to radio traffic as firefighters in Coeur-d'Alene, Idaho, are lured in and then ambushed by this active monster. We already know multiple firefighters have been hit. The scene is still active as we speak right now, as we speak. So let's take a listen to this. This is crazy. This is about 16 minutes long, but I think it's worth the listen. Let's take a listen.
Engine 14, Engine 3, Medic 51, BC1, BC3 for Delta Fat Wildland Fire, Elton Gulch and Shaolu, Box 1. Engine 14, Engine 3, Medic 51, BC1, BC3 for Delta Wildland Fire, Elton Gulch and Shaolu. Central Engine 3 is on scene. Campfield parking lot. Fire is going to be north of us. The Trail 6 report appears to be accurate. We're meeting with someone right now that's a lot further. Stand by, this is Campfield Command.
So this confirming the fire. Right then and there, the confirming the fire.
I'm going to be assuming Campfield Command. We've got reports from a bike rider, probably looking at maybe close to half an acre now, moving fairly quickly in the dust, going to be moving to the tree shortly. We're trying to gain access to the area to get an exact location. I'm establishing the command post in the Nettleton Gulch or the Canfield parking lot, and I'd like to go to a second alarm.
So a decent sized fire.
Canfield Command Central. BC1 Central. Central BC5, Central BC5.
Whoa.
BC5 up state. Some law enforcement right now. There's an active shooter zone. They're shot. BC3's down. BC1's down. Everybody's shot up here. Law enforcement, code 3 now up here.
That's crazy.
551, 10 or 14 up here. Stop. Get out of the way. 10 or 14. Engine push 551. Do not come up here.
Damn.
This is at the upper parking lot. This is at the upper parking lot. Up on the dirt parking lot. We need law enforcement up here immediately. Law enforcement up here immediately. Copy, upper parking lot. Immediately out, law enforcement. Central, we've got another Coeur-d'Alene firefighter down. Needs help immediately. We need law enforcement immediately. I copy, another firefighter down. Continuing law enforcement. I copy. 2 battalion chiefs, 1 off, 1 firefighter down.
Engineer to Beth, I'm down. Both battalion chiefs are responsible. Engineer to Beth down.
I copy, you can't move. What's your location exactly? We're all at the upper parking lot. Please, law enforcement, as soon as possible, get law enforcement up to the upper parking lot, the dirt parking lot.
Scary stuff, y'all.
I'm not having any response from the 2 battalion chiefs. They're above me inside the rig. I need help. I don't see anybody around me, but it appears he was wearing some green, like military, maybe bulletproof type of clothing, long pants. Maybe fast forward, shot us with a shotgun.
Vehicle. Then immediately up here, we've got 2 unresponsive battalion chiefs, gunshot wounds, multiple gunshot wounds. 2 Coeur-d'Alene firefighters are down. I copy. 2 responsive battalion chiefs. Law enforcement's getting there as quickly as they can. We need law enforcement to get up here. We could possibly get the 2 wounded out. I'm pinned down behind Battalion 1's rig. It's clear to me that this fire was set intentionally to draw us in.
There it is.
I copy. Do you want my flight to launch? I'm not 100% sure where they would land. I think they need to be prepared to launch. Yeah, they're prepared to launch. Law enforcement's still on their way. Central 107. Chief 107. Started dispatching 4 ambulances and any available fire engines. We're going to have them staged at 15th and Nettleton Gulch. I'm in route. Copy, staged at 15th and Nettleton Gulch. Central Medic 13th en route. Central Medic 32 is en route. Roger, I couldn't copy. Medic 32 is en route to the wildland fire to the staging area. Open. Copy, 15th and Nettleton, thank you. Central Medic 52, same traffic. Copy, Medic 52. Get down. Go away. Get a half a mile away. Sets on that parking lot. They need to stay there and make sure no one else comes up here. The Department of Lands, no one. Copy, deputy. Enforcement desperately up here.
Mm-mm-mm.
Need help.
I copy, help is en route. AC5 out. Copy, Chief 37 en route. Central Medic 13 is en route to the wildland fire for staging. Copy, Medic 13 en route to the staging zone, 15th and Nettleton Gulch.
It's bad. I'm looking at a couple other things, guys. Just getting some more info.
Command tender 12, level 1 staged. Central copy. We're near this up here. We have an active shooter location. BC3 is down. BC1 is down. Corpsman Engine 3 officer and engineer are pinned down and wounded. I'm pinned down by BC1's rig. Do not come up here. We need law enforcement up here immediately. In the area. Do not respond in. 2 battalion chiefs down. 2 officers injured. Central from BC5. Where's law enforcement?
Yeah, I saw a comment saying that there was 4 that lost their lives. I don't see that.
Where's law enforcement?
I don't see that anywhere so far.
Law enforcement is in the area trying to
I'm
make
looking, though.
contact. They have FS-19 and 2310 in the area.
And just so you guys know, Lisa just said, are these voices live right now? No, these are not live right now. This is just right when ish hit the fan. Okay, so we're doing as much catch up as we can before we get into where we're at right now. Okay, so this is the stuff like right when they pulled up, right when they were trying to take out the fire, and suddenly they were getting hit. Okay, just so y'all know.
Central, tell them to come up the dirt road and I'm at the upper parking lot. I need help at the upper parking lot. Go past the first parking lot, upper parking lot. I need law enforcement up here immediately. I copy, past the first lot, up the dirt road. Central 107. Copy.
Seeing if there's any more updates here.
Central 107 on ops 1. Chief 107. I'll take care of staging. Can you find me an off channel for units responding in? Okay. Copy. BC5 is talking on ops 3. I am ready to copy. We'll use ops 1 for units responding in to come stage. I'll take care of staging. Copy, thank you. What is command post at the lower parking lot for law enforcement? 107 copies. We're coming up the dirt road or not? I really need help up here. Hey, I'm seeing 2310 getting closer to your lot now. I think they're trying to make sure they're watching for the active shooter. Copy that. Tell them I'm up at the upper dirt parking lot. As soon as they make the round corner, they can see. They'll see the coeur-dalene engine. The traffic cones are out. I'm right there, and maybe they could pull up and we could get to the coeur-dalene firefighters that are hurt. I copy. You're by the coeur-dalene fire engine. They need to pull up over there, so hopefully you can get to the injured. Central for BC5. Is there any indication how long until a SWAT team can get here? Negative.
So they're saying, according to raw alerts, is saying Idaho officials say 9 officers and 9 firefighters and 2 cops were actually hit. Conditions, of course, unknown. And then, of course, this is after the gunman actually opened fire on them, okay, as they responded to this wildfire. So that's crazy, just so you guys know.
52 level 1.
I love them.
Engine, please.
I can't read anything. I'm using my headlight to see the mic. This is getting worse.
I copy. Can't move anything. Law enforcement's in the area they're trying to get to now. VO7's level 1. I have my SWAT here as well.
Yeah, I really don't see the sleeper cell type thing. I really don't. I just think this is somebody unhinged. I truly think that. But again, we don't have all the information. We got to wait till we hear what they have to say. We got to hear when they actually catch the person or neutralize the person. Because remember,
I'm on scene. I'm going to go ahead and respond over the command post, and I'll be sending medical group.
they said if you got the shot, they said if you got the shot, take it. Right?
This is an active shooter situation up here. Oh, Battalion 5. They're asking you not respond up to the scene. Active shooter situation. Copy. What's the location? They're staging at the lower lot. Copy. Lower lot. Central, can you get a hold of Brush Fly 51? Have him make sure the state, everyone's getting away farther away from that parking lot, that lower Praise Cave parking lot. I'm not 100% sure they're safe there. We're not very far up. We're probably only a quarter mile up. I have no idea where the shooter's at or where they're going or which direction. I would recommend that our units, all of our fire units, escape further down the pavement towards town, maybe a half a mile or so to a safe staging area.
I copy. I have to all units on Ops 1. Thank you.
Cells from Fred. How are you, buddy?
You know,
Central from BC5, we're going to need multiple ambulances for ALS care as soon as we can get law enforcement in here to get these people out. I recommend we get no less than five ambulances staged at the bottom. I don't care where we get them from. I've got 3 that I know, 4 that I'm positive of all people that are going to need help. There's also some other pickups here. We could have pedestrians and standby bystanders that need help.
Now, in the press conference,
I copy. 4 to 5 injured. We have multiple ambulances staging in lower areas. I will make sure that we have at least 5.
that dispatcher said 4 or 5 at that moment, but now we're hearing about 9+ people. That's firefighters and cops combined getting hit. And I just want to clarify this really quick. CFS, I just wanted to clarify it really quick. In the press conference, he said he didn't know if it's multiple or just one assailant. That I just want to make sure that's accurate so that we don't get people confused. He said, I don't know if that's one or multiple assailants, but he's saying shots are coming from everywhere, several different directions, and that is for sure. But he did not confirm, the sheriff did not confirm whether or not it was more than just one. He just said, I have no idea if it's one or more. So I just want to make that abundantly clear for everybody. Okay. There's a little bit of this left, so I'm going to play a little bit more of this.
Back one.
Anywhere back on my flight. We need to get to the coeur-dalene tire guys that are down.
That's with Spokane. I'll double check with my partner on that. My flight's been contacted, told to stand by this time. Do you want them watched?
Affirm.
Copy. Also, BC5 is requesting at least 5 ambulances on standby. Can you confirm?
Yeah, if we can actually get 6, that would be beneficial. And if we need to pull from Spokane or Shoshone.
Copy, Medic 13. Can you move to off one?
Central Unit 61's en route to the Wildland Fire. 513 inches, 12 miles, 1. We're headed to full life. You want to get full.
Fox News alert.
Central 107. I'm moving staging up to Nettleton and Maple Leaf. Start engines from Valley, and you can pull ambulances from Spokane too if we need to.
Because of how much is going on. That's crazy.
Down. So go ahead. Can you copy the cost?
Nettleton and Maple Leaf.
Copy.
Go ahead.
Negative. We have Chief 107.
Copy, thanks.
Okay, and that's all she wrote on that one. Again, some crazy stuff going on, y'all. This is some really bad stuff. I'm looking to see as much updates as I can throughout this, of course. So stick with me, because there's a lot going on here. Of course, this is all still breaking news. Like I said, I'm not going to be on all night, but I may take. I'm going to be most likely taking a little bit of a break in a little bit, but then come back when there's another update, the press conference, etc. Just so you guys know, okay? But still. This is so don't go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere yet. But like I said, this is still developing. This is crazy. Can't believe this is all going down. Let's see what Fox News says. And notice, I went from CNN to Fox News, baby. We get the information everywhere, okay? For those of y'all who are like CNN, some of y'all go Fox News. Chill. We get it from everywhere, okay? Because this is all breaking news and everybody's talking about it right now. Let's go.
Update on the active shooter situation developing in Ohio. At least 2 firefighters have been killed after they were ambushed putting out a fire earlier today. Police say they are still receiving fire as we speak. Let's listen in.
With their surroundings.
Sheriff Norris?
Did you mention that the person that called it in is most likely the shooter?
No.
Okay.
No, we didn't say that. We said the first call was at 121 on a fire, and then we started receiving over our radio that the firefighters were receiving shots fired from the mountain.
Sheriff Norris, has anything happened like this before? And if so, do you think you and other law enforcement entities will be more aware going forward?
This is an interesting dynamic. We have seen some of these things in a urban environment where firefighters were in a urban setting, putting out firefighters during civil disobedience, getting shot at. I've seen that. I can't say that I've seen it in a rural setting myself, but I have seen it in an urban setting frequently where firefighters do get shot at in, civil unrest, yes.
So do we know if there's 1 or 2 shooters?
We don't know if there's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Yeah, we don't know.
So just for the fire itself, firefighting efforts, is it contained? Is it still spreading? What does that look like?
Well, it's gonna keep burning because we can't put a lot of resources on there right now. But Chief,
No, we won't put any resources out there until the threat is neutralized.
Do we have like a risk of wildfire? Say, is it high winds? Is that going to fuel the fire or anything? Or is it?
We're at a high state right now in wildland, so it'll calm down as the evening progresses, but then it'll pick back up tomorrow.
Thank you.
And hopefully this is neutralized by then.
Thank you.
Sheriff Norris, how are you feeling
Nuts.
about this overall from when you first got the call to just now from what you've learned?
you know what? It's going to be the tough next couple hours. Yeah, absolutely. I'm hoping that somebody has a clear shot and is able to neutralize, because they are not at this point in time showing any evidence of wanting to surrender. So as soon as somebody has a clear shot, I encourage them to take that shot and neutralize the threat.
They're saying, hey, if you see him, take it. If you got it, take it. I feel a lot of good old boys are going to start showing up, being like, hey, I'm a hell of a shot. Let me get out there. But what's crazy is we don't know how many people are there, right? We don't know how many people are actually in the middle of doing all of this. This is just crazy. Okay. But let's take a look at this.
Breaking news out of Coeur-d'Alene, Idaho tonight. Deputies believe at least 2 firefighters are dead after being ambushed by a shooter. This happened as crews were responding to a brush fire this afternoon. A news conference just wrapped up, but the sheriff says the shooting is still active and they could be looking for multiple people. King 5's Maddie White is live in the newsroom with what we're learning tonight. Maddie.
Also, before we continue, they also said, we just heard it in that press conference, that they may take the night off and reconvene in, butt cracking early in the morning. I don't know why they do that, but it reminds me of what happened with Joseph Couch when he took aim at that interstate and then he just ran off into the woods. Remember, all of us were like, why would you take the day off or the night off? But I get it. Maybe it's even more difficult to hunt somebody down in the middle of the night when it's pitch black out there in the woods, especially when they say it's dense woods. I can see that, right? But, maybe that's just how they operate, but it just gives that person or those people the opportunity to kick rocks even further into the woods or further away from the situation. But maybe they'll have a skeleton crew out there doing things and they'll just take shifts over the night until day breaks the following day. So we'll see what happens, but it is very interesting nonetheless. I mean, right now in Idaho, it's what? It's 6 o'clock 6 o'clock at night. You know, they got like maybe 2 more hours of daylight, maybe over there. So, you know, 2-ish hours of daylight. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here for sure.
Madison, multiple firefighters and law enforcement personnel are actively being attacked by snipers in Coeur d'Alene right now. That's according to Kootenai County Sheriff Robert Norris. 2 people believed to be firefighters are dead, according to Norris, but he says he anticipates more casualties as potential victims come down the mountain and arrive at the hospital. He says officials are taking rapid fire up on Canfield Mountain right now. It's a brush-filled area just north of Lake Coeur d'Alene. It all started at 1:30 this afternoon with reports of a wildfire burning on that mountain. And when Kootenai County Fire responded, gunfire erupted.
Stay away from the area. This is going to be, if these individuals are not neutralized quickly, this is going to be likely a multi-day operation.
FBI assets are headed to the scene to provide tactical and operational support, according to a statement made by the FBI's deputy director. Stay with King 5 as we continue monitoring this. I'm Maddie White.
That's what I'd like to know too, little Patty. Why firefighters? Why are they going after mother-loving firefighters? What's the reason behind this, right? What's the reason behind for them to start a brush fire and then do this? Now, instantly, I think the first thing I think in my head, which is just a far-fetched idea, is that it's some disgruntled ex wannabe firefighter or maybe wannabe cop that never became the cop or firefighter that they wanted to be. So they have some strange anger and grudge against first responders. Or it's just people who just want to be out here causing havoc solely because they want to cause havoc. It is strange to me, though, that they would go after firefighters of all people. I just think that's so strange. But, you know, we'll find out more information, I guess, as we continue on. It is just a weird, very strange and tragic situation because, like I said, those men and women that are going out there fighting those fires, they should be able to go home, right? They're already risking their lives by jumping into and taking out specific types of fires, all fires, right? And now in this situation, they got to dodge bullets. That's just insane. I don't get why they would go after firefighters. I don't get it. What did that firefighter do to you? You know what I'm saying? A piece of the puzzle. Thank you so much for being a member for the past 6 months. I really do appreciate it. If it's rural with no homes or people, could they drop boom booms from helicopters? I mean, there's already a fire. I mean, if they were to do that, I mean, that'd be crazy if they just dropped, like, let's just annihilate them. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say it's the best way of doing things because you never know who else could be out there, right? There could be people that are being held against their will there. You just never know. You don't know the full situation. I get where you're coming from with the whole situation, but at the same time, you know, maybe one just good, clean shot, bow, call it a day, or, you know, injured them so that they can't do what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? I think that's the better choice than just going Iran on them, right? You know, completely obliterated, the most perfect, you know what I mean? The most perfect operation that ever was operated in the history of military, right? Savannah, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. I wonder if they were burned in a fire and hold firefighters responsible for their suffering and pain. You know what? That's a good question too. That could possibly be it. I don't know. It's strange the where this is coming from. That these people are this department was targeted. Okay. But, you know, we've heard crazier things, haven't we? Right. So, of course, just a quick recap. OK, at least 2 people have lost their lives, as they're saying plural right now. Snipers ambushed firefighters and police in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, after blaze was set as bait. So at least 2 first responders were unalived, and numerous others were injured after coming under fire in an ambush attack as they responded to the fire in Idaho. An unknown member of assailants, they say an unknown number of assailants allegedly set the blaze as bait for the first responders, okay, in Coeur d'Alene, and then began firing at them as they arrived on the scene at around 2 p.m. Pacific, I guess. Is that Pacific or Mountain? I guess that's Pacific, right? Pacific time? But, or is that Mountain time? I have no idea. But anyway, authorities said in this news conference, like we already said, the suspects who are believed to have been using high-powered rifles, plural, were firing at that time. So we are actively taking a sniper fire as we speak. Okay, we're taking rapid fire as well. He also added that authorities are trying to take those responsible into custody, but noted that the heavy brush is making it difficult to apprehend them. So we don't know if it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, Norris, the sheriff said. The sheriff also then gave police the authority to shoot to unalive, shoot to kill, okay, if they're given the opportunity, as authorities worry about the civilians who may be stuck on Canfield Mountain. Again, you got somebody out here or people out there doing rapid fire on anything that moves. And apparently they're doing a pretty decent job at hitting people, right? So sheriff is like, yo, if you get a clean shot, if you get a clear shot, take the shot. We got to take this person out. This is not somebody that should be doing what they're doing. They should not be having successful attacks like they are right now. We got to lock this in. So the sheriff gave police the authority to, I already said that. I'm hoping someone has a clear shot. They're not showing any signs of wanting to surrender. Also adding, the sheriff also added that that it is going to be a tough couple of hours as the fire continues to burn. Okay. And then, of course, you already heard that this manhunt, okay, could last for days. He said, I have a feeling this is going to last for days too. So it's not even over yet, y'all. Because if they can't get a clean shot of this particular person or people, you know, they could sit out there. It could just be a full-on standoff for days. Okay. So Northern Lakes Fire District Chief Pat Riley had earlier explained to KHQ that the fire crews were forced to pull back as this situation began. Okay, he said that the news conference. He said at the news conference that he is not deploying any more firefighters to the area until the threat is neutralized. Yeah, they're not armed. They're not suited and booted. They're there with water, okay, to take out fire. That's it, okay? In the meantime, residents are being asked to avoid the area, and those who are stuck on the island, are stuck on the mountain, are urged to shelter in place, okay? Authorities from Spokane, Washington are now heading south to provide assistance in what they described on social media as an active ongoing incident. So FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, I think I'm saying that right, Bongino, also confirmed on social media that assets are heading to the scene to provide tactical operational support. Okay. Additionally, law enforcement agencies and medical professionals are on standby. Okay. As a number of officers and firefighters were injured in this attack. And they still don't know how many people have been hurt. We've heard reports of about 9 to 11 individuals have been hit. Okay. And that's a mixture of firefighters and cops, but they have not had a solid confirmation of it yet. But I'm telling you right now that I'm sure will be confirmed most likely later on tonight when they have another press conference. Okay. But again, I mean, you know, this is all the information that's being said so far. I'm going to do a quick breeze through, you know what I mean? Just kind of going back over, just seeing what else, just seeing if there's any more updates. But right now, there is no new updates right now. It's all kind of remained to be the same. So what I will do, okay, if there is another press conference and if there is some more updates, I will definitely hop back on and give you guys more information about everything that's going on. Of course, we'll keep a close watch on this tomorrow because we're going to be in the middle of the Diddy trial verdict watch. You know, we'll be sitting here pretty much all day waiting for a verdict to drop, if there will be a verdict dropped today or by tomorrow. But nonetheless, when there's new information on this, we will be talking about this for sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, Nicole B, if you ain't awake, you ain't awake. You know what I'm saying? But let's see. Statement was put out there. There'll be another presser at 11th. Wow. Okay. So it's going to be late. That's going to be late. 9:30 Pacific time, 12:30 Eastern time. So that's going to be a late one, but I definitely want to know what's going on. So I'll probably be back on at that time. Okay, guys, just so you know. Okay. But we're going to keep an eye on this. Of course, right now, there's not a whole lot of information right now. That's a nope. You're right. There's going to be another one in the next 3 hours. So I will be back on around that time. And of course, I'll give you guys some updates on what has happened. You know what I mean? From this time, from the time that we've signed off to the time that we're getting started, because I'm sure there's going to be some new developments. Hopefully they were able to get this guy, right? And you know what? Honestly, hopefully they're able to just get him and not have to neutralize, you know? Hopefully. We'll see what happens, right? Just stop the guy, right? But of course, we'll find out as time goes on. But that is the show, guys. I just wanted to quickly give you guys the updates and everything that's going on. I will be back on tonight, okay? It may be a very, very short one, okay? But I will be back on to talk about this and cover everything in the next couple hours, okay? But I appreciate you guys for being here. Do me a favor before you head out. Hit that like button down below. Crush it, do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you are watching on those other platforms, make sure you hit that follow button. Don't forget to subscribe here as well on my main YouTube channel. Go to my second channel, The Pascal Show Clips. That'd be greatly appreciated. Subscribe to both of them. Make sure you have both notification bells set to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it is pretty much random. All right. I'll be back on in a few hours. So hit that join button down below. Become a member. Support the channel if you can. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. I'll be talking to you guys soon. Much love to y'all. And, yeah, stay safe out there. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.